Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jambar in 10. It's the last show of the semester. I'm Scott Chiddock.
And I'm Josh Robinson.
Youngstown State University's Student Government Association recently completed the election and appointment process for next semester's officers. Sophie Myers, junior double major in political science and communication studies, served as the executive vice president during the spring semester. She was elected as president for the fall semester. Carter Cook, junior multimedia communication major, was elected as the next executive vice president for SGA.
So it's going to be a big transition and a big change. So Carter and I are just really hoping to support the students during this time and offer other activities, offer other places to go on campus, and just kind of give that constant communication and support through the students.
Those interested in getting involved with student government can visit sponsored events and body meetings or email sga@ysu.edu.
Youngstown State University's American Foundry Society won several awards at the Cast and Steel competition in Atlanta. The Cast and Steel competition is hosted by the Steel Foundry Society of America. YSU's submission, a replica of George Washington's sword, won Best in Show, first place for performance, and second place for both technical report and casting. In previous years, the AFS has forged African-style spears, leaf knives from Lord of the Rings, and fireman-style Halligan bars. Students interested in joining the AFS can contact chapter advisor Brian Vuksanovich via email.
Already, offices are relocating in preparation for the Kilcawley renovations, but how will this impact students? Students must find other areas for food and study, as many go-to spaces like Dunkin', Wendy's, Pete Streets, and Jamba Juice will be shut down. One of the areas listed as meeting and event spaces is the library. Anna Torres, MOG Library co-director and head of library services and operations, said she hopes students continue to utilize the library and its services.
I hope the students continue to see the library as their other home, and we always welcome them here. We see a lot of especially commuter students or students who live in the dorms that want to have another place to get away from the dorm where they can study and also relax. They use the library for that.
The library will extend opening hours for students during finals week.
The Kilcawley, centered on the Future campaign, has collected upwards of $22 million for renovations set to begin on May 5th. The campaign began last November with an initial donation made by campaign chair Scott Schulich. Bill Johnson, YSU president, said he is pleased with the responses from donors and is happy with the direction of the campaign. He also said that there is nothing he would do differently if the campaign were to be redone.
Nope, we got the right people. We're making the right progress. Our marketing strategy has been top-notch. Our working relationship with the Youngstown State University Foundation has been absolutely super.
Though renovations begin shortly, donations can still be made to the campaign throughout the process.
Are you struggling to find groceries? Youngstown's food desert may be why. Here's senior journalism student Hannah Worrell with more.
For many Youngstown residents, it is nearly impossible to access healthy foods. Youngstown is defined as a food desert by the USDA, which means it's an area where people have limited access to a variety of healthy and affordable food options.
Robin Perry is the network coordinator for the Healthy Community Partnership Mahoning Valley, an organization that helps residents with food access and education. She said that this limited access is largely due to a lack of full-service grocery stores in the area.
At the base level, there's no grocery store in the community. So there's nowhere for someone to go to be able to access produce, meat, dairy, all of that. You'll have a lot of corner stores, but most of them carry highly processed foods.
Currently, the only grocery store in Youngstown is the Sparkle Market in Cornersburg. However, several organizations are working to help residents cope with the effects of the food desert.
One of these organizations is United Way of Youngstown, which runs a variety of programs to help with food access, including the Saturday of Caring. Roxanne Seabest, the vice president of United Way, said the Saturday of Caring event started during COVID-19 and has grown since then.
We have a list of 465 families, seniors, individuals, shut-ins that either have a difficulty getting to the grocery store, whether they have no transportation. Some of them are families that have special needs kids that they may work and they may have, but getting to the grocery store it's just an added burden to them.
Another organization working on this issue is Action, a nonprofit that helps with food access via its mobile markets.
Action's mobile markets are low-cost grocery stores on wheels, bringing fresh produce, meats, and other products to community spaces and apartment buildings in both Trumbull and Mahoning counties.
While many groups have emphasized the importance of a supermarket, Youngstown's nonprofits and residents continue to rally behind those in need.
With the semester now coming to a close, it's time for us to say goodbye to our beloved Jambar TV seniors. Here's what they had to say.
Alrighty, my name is Gavin Blacksher, and I am currently, I think technically social media coordinator still, but I run the audio board for Jambar TV.
My name is Desire Howard, and I am a sports reporter for the Jambar.
My name is Abby Gutowski, and my current position right now is assistant producer for Jambar TV.
My name is Dylan Lux, and I am currently the sports editor at the Jambar and the director of Jambar TV, Jambar in 10, Sports Extra, Newsmag. I wear a lot of hats around here.
Officially, it would have been 24. Yeah, so officially 24. Although I helped out a lot in spring of 23 and fall of 23.
I started for the Jambar in the fall of 2024 while I had my spring 2023 workshop class.
I started at the Jambar last semester, so the fall semester of 24. The other position I hold in student media, I am also the co-manager for the Rookery radio station.
It's a surreal feeling being the one in front of the camera. Omar, don't make me look fat. So I started as an assistant video editor when I came here, and then after a semester I became head of video productions. Then I moved into being assistant producer under Cheyenne Gibbons. Then I took her spot, and Reagan became my assistant producer, and I became executive producer for a full year. And then after a year, I stepped down to take over Mr. John Ostopowitz's job as sports editor, and he stepped up to be editor-in-chief, which he's done a great job of, by the way. And that's where I've been rocking for the last year, is the sports editor. And I've been the director of Jambar TV for a year as well.
I have only been a sports reporter for the Jambar.
That's all you've done?
Yes. I'm also a sports anchor for the Jambar as well.
Although I helped out a lot in spring of 23 and fall of 23, but it was unofficial.
And what are all the positions that you've held in student media?
Just those, I think. Yeah. I mean, a lot of, and also my job at the audio lab, Dan McCormick, legend. So with that job, I kind of helped out with everything around, you know, in the studio or around Bliss.
I think one of the bigger accomplishments that I've had at the Jambar was our live broadcasts. When I was executive producer, we had the first ever live broadcast from Ohio State when they played YSU in football, and that did really well. Of course, there were some technical difficulties at the beginning, but as we continued, we kept getting better and better with it. When we went to Michigan, we had more and more effects and graphics, and then we did a live stream from Federal Frenzy. So we've done a decent amount of live streams, and I think that was one of my bigger accomplishments, was kind of starting that train, and I'm proud of that.
Some of my biggest accomplishments from working for the Jambar is a teamwork element and the skill set of motivation and determination when it comes to working in a team and struggling through all the adversity and still being able to put a cap and gown on and walk across stage.
Learning to work with all different kinds of people and learning communication skills, I think enhancing my communication skills, and also just learning how to have fun when you're also working and trying to be serious.
Honestly, every JTV show, but my favorite has been the reels that we did, which we kind of got away from, sorry to all of our adoring fans. But yeah, I enjoyed making the reels. There's a lot of creative freedom. I wish there was more time to kind of, you know, finish up the storyline with that, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
My best JTV memory was probably my first one when I almost messed up every single person's name. And then I came back for the second time, and it was one of the best personal experiences that I've had, with the improvement and everybody rallying around me for skill set wise, determination wise, and motivation wise.
So some of my favorite memories have been the night before recording. We all hang out in the office and we're trying to prepare for the show the next day. There's been times where we've stayed late, and I think as students, it shows us what the work life and the outside world could really be and prepares us for those situations, but also knowing that we're not the only one that's staying late and we have people to stay late with and laugh, and just know that no matter what's getting done, it's going to be great.
One of my favorites was the very first show I worked on, which was the last show of December 23, the last show of fall 23, because remember you were on desk. It was Cheyenne last show, and that was one of the few shows where I was a camera op. I was on the floor, and it was fun hanging around and partying afterwards, and then kind of learning the tricks of the trade and seeing how it actually went around. That was my first one that I actually helped out with. So,
I think one of my favorite memories was the senior show with my last show as executive producer. There was a lot of graduating seniors and a lot of like family members, family members that moved on to graduation and stuff like that. So, and then that video was a lot of fun. Like making that senior package was fun. A lot of big names in that one. But I just remember that there was a lot of people, and I think like that was a good memory. Just one of those like always stick with you because it was the last hurrah. So a lot of people in that one, and I'm thankful I got to be a part of it and be executive producer for that.
any pieces of advice to someone like joining Jambar, or just in general?
Joining Jambar, or anyone just coming into college, like what is a piece of advice that you wish you kind of would have heard, maybe coming into college?
Oh, this got serious. Hi, Omar. All right. This is for you. This is for you. Enjoy it. Enjoy it as much as you can. It'll go way quicker than you think it does. You say yes to everything until you have to say no. That goes without saying. And don't take it too seriously. Like, I see so many people who let work get the best of them, and they're so focused on graduation and stuff after college. And don't worry about it. If you get a 3-point-something GPA instead of a 4.0, who cares, right? Just have fun. Just have fun. And goof around, but not too much. Dylan?
All right.
Yeah, the only thing that I can say, I really love saying to anyone that's always asking for advice, is don't be scared of fearing the unknown. Everyone fears the unknown, and it's okay to take the chances, make mistakes, you learn from them. And, you know, we're all human beings. We are all living for the first time. So forgive, forget, fear the unknown. Just do it, and you'll be fine.
My advice to everybody watching this is to continue to be yourself. That is it.
That's all you have? You're like, do you like...
Everybody struggles through adversity, and everything happens for a reason. So if you think you can't, you can. And if you know you can, and you will. So do it.
I think my biggest piece of advice would be to wear as many hats as you can. Be versatile. I came here and I learned a lot from everybody. That's another thing too. One step at a time. Be versatile. Never be afraid to pick up something new. That is so important, especially in the work world. If you can go to a job interview and say, oh yeah, I've directed, or oh yeah, I've run an audio board, yeah, I've switched for a live production or live to tape production, or yeah, I've anchored. All of those things are super useful, especially if you want to stay in this field. And two, never be afraid to take criticism or advice. I am not the smartest tool in the shed, as the sharpest tool in the shed. Thank you, Sabrina. But I've become a lot sharper because of the people around me. Professors, coworkers, all of them have helped me become the best of what I can be. And even if you're better at something than somebody else, they are better at something else than you. So never be afraid to take criticism or advice from other people, because people are smart. They have a lot to offer. That's probably my main thing. Take advice, learn from people, and wear as many hats as you can.
For Jambar, I'm Josiah Howard.
This is Dylan Lux for the last time, signing off.
Don't take it too serious, and have as much fun as you can. We're out.
Also, a special shout out to the faculty and staff that helped this show be produced: Dan McCormick, Paul Ditchy, Mary Doda, Mary Beth Earnhardt, and Adam Earnhardt. That's all we have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next semester. Stay safe, Penguins.